So you call French fries American food?
So we saying like French Montana's got to get on a drill beat? I don't want to hear French on a drill beat.
No, not necessarily, but it's a good opportunity to expand. I think why not try?
I think
everyone got on mustard shit in LA and it worked. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Like,
I mean,
why
but
not?
It didn't work for everybody. But
and so the people that you'd rather go a couple thousand miles down south and get on their beats as opposed to trying to make something work with what you got.
No, not at all. But you know, I'm saying if it works for you, by all means, like run with it. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But what I'm saying is don't force it just because that's the wave and you feel like that's what's going to attract people to jump on it. But if it don't fit, it don't fit. Like for example, even people who are from the East, but not necessarily from New York. Like Danny Lay put out a drill beat song. It's terrible. In my opinion, I do not like it at all whatsoever.
No comment.
Picture this.
I like it.
She shots at
Bobby Shmurda's hit. What's the name of it?
Which one? Bobby Shmurda? Hot Nigga?
Hot Boy.
Yeah. You got to say Hot Boy, yes.
Hot Boy, okay. Imagine the drums rearranged with that loop. No. Imagine the drums rearranged in a drill style. It works.
I don't want to.
Go ahead. Dainjazone remix.
Yeah, no, it works.
I think Bobby would sound good on a drill beat. Yeah. We're just curious if he's
already done it. Anyway, so.
I'm just curious if he's going to go in that direction because that sound has already been established. You know what I mean? So we're curious to see when he starts putting out.
Your favorite song is Bobby, bitch.
Mickey.
To all the artists out there, don't overthink what your song concept should be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes it's writing your name.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
With that being said, welcome to the MikiDZ Podcast.
Yes, sir, man.
Episode 80.
80, man. We're out here.
Ocho.
Bobby,
is that how you say 80?
No, 80.
Ochente. What are the gifts? Some of the gifts Bobby got. I heard all kinds of random.
I don't know, man.
I heard like someone got him, like he had a PJ waiting for him. I heard there was like some Louis bags
full of bitches in there and shit. Quavo got it from
right.
Quavo did all this for him.
Atlanta is showing motherfuckers from New York love like that.
Yeah,
look at that.
Atlanta's loaded.
Atlanta, man, you got to give respect to this.
They got money and low overhead.
Facts.
Just a 5-bedroom, 8-bathroom. They got more bathrooms as bedrooms.
$200K
and for the same price as an apartment,
man,
on the 4th floor
in Manhattan. Exactly.
In Brooklyn.
Shit. Not even Manhattan. Probably in Brooklyn.
And you still got 4 girls to a room.
Yeah.
Right.
Save that money. Put that money in the stocks.
Don't do that.
Little Dicky was onto something.
Yeah, man. So it's good to see that.
Yeah, man.
In regards to the hip hop community, it's good. That's a win.
Glad to see Bobby come out, and especially during Black History Month, man.
Mm-hmm. Looking forward to seeing hearing what kind of music he puts out. And see what him and the crew do. Yeah.
How you guys feeling, man? How's your weekend? You know, we're shooting this a little earlier in the week now. How y'all been? How was the weekend?
I don't even remember what happened.
I got an update on my fiance's gift, the underwear.
Oh,
yeah.
What's the update?
Because even Nitron hit me up like, "Yo, did you return them?" Like, if I specifically.
We all want to know. Are you just giving up? Are you still courting? What's going on here?
Like, keep us in a loop on this, man.
Yeah. So we were listening to a different podcast, and there were guests on this podcast, and these guests, these 2 women, have a company where they make underwear for women who, for that time of the month, where you don't have to wear pads. It's just underwear that absorbs what flows down there.
So the pad is included.
Pad is included. You can reuse the underwear for whatever, a number of times. Okay. And so Sam
reusable.
Okay. Sam said, and I got a permission to talk about this because I know this is like a weird thing for girls.
Oh.
For women.
I would imagine.
It's a weird thing for us too.
And it's definitely not what I woke up wanting to talk about.
4 men in here talking about period draws.
10 minutes in, we're talking about flow. It ain't rapping.
Your sponsor here.
Hey, we're going from flow to flow, from Bobby to
rock a pad.
So she said, just return those underwear, get your money back, and just put it toward. And it's roughly the same amount. Like it's just a little bit more for the 3 pairs of draws. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. And for all you ladies out there, all of our female listeners.
So sum this up. Joe's Valentine gift to his fiance was period drugs.
Bloody Valentine.
You here all day, bro.
I gotta ask though, the way you set that up at the end, whereas like it comes out to around the same cost. So you're telling me hold on. Let me ask the question. Sure. So if it was a little more, you're saying like
it was a little more.
Okay, but I'm saying like let's say it was how much is a little more?
$8 more.
Okay, let's say it was $20 more.
What you do?
That's
What,
still good.
Okay, all right.
Guys,
I just check it. I just check
$20, I got it.
you got it, right?
It's Valentine's Day.
Yeah, it's nothing,
got
man.
it.
It's nothing.
Yeah,
Throw it in the
we're
bag.
good.
Throw it in the bag, danger.
I'm just curious. Because the way he set it up was like, yo, I'm going to need that extra 12.
Also, you're going to pay the difference, right?
I'm going to invoice you.
Yeah.
the rest.
Promo code.
Yo,
So.
first of all,
It's a tax write-off. It's clothing.
speaking of Night Train, man, shout out to Night Train because he pulled up on us on Friday. And he DJ'd with me on the stream.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he
So
pulled
playing
up
new
to the
records
crib.
too, huh?
Yeah, he pulled up. No, he actually played off of J Rose's laptop.
Okay.
But he wanted to plug in his own laptop, but I told him we weren't going to go that long. We were way over 4 hours. And I was like, yo, it's time to shut it down. Because we were all drinking and having a good time, whatever. But shout out to Night Train. He pulled up on us. We had a dope stream. We showed some new visuals for our guy Dupree for the Honeymoon album. So it was overall good. We called him out. I was like, yo, Night Train, I thought you said you was going to pull up. And he said, oh, shit, you did say that. 15 minutes later, he was at my door knocking on the door. So
Jumped in the helicopter and
hey, man, listen.
The PG.
I don't know how he got there that
The
fast,
valley
but
ain't that
he
big.
got it.
You can make it in 15 minutes.
I mean, from Receded Enough Hollywood, you get there for 15 minutes. Yeah. But yeah, shout out to them. But weekend was solid. Mike,
there you go. I don't even remember.
Mike's like, I've been working all fucking weekend.
I've been working all weekend. I don't know what the heck going on.
Well, I'll tell you what did happen this weekend. Was it this past weekend? The weekend before?
Oh, wait, before my girl kills me. I was with her all weekend. There you go.
There you go.
She
I was
listens?
working, but yeah, she does.
Oh, okay.
She actually requested the last podcast link the moment we dropped it. She goes, did you drop a new podcast? This is 2 days ago.
She was here when we recorded it.
Yeah. No,
Send her the Dropbox link?
She missed something, and then she said somebody in the room said, oh, you need to replace her. But she only caught the joke part of it. So then she was like, who? And I think it was Rel. And then, but I think it was.
Was I talking about her?
Yeah. But it was like in a like a context, like a girl, like I don't know.
I don't remember you saying
know
that.
how
I wasn't
to say
saying
it.
it direct. I don't remember
no.
saying that either, but
No, I know.
I take your word for it.
I said the same. I backed you up a little. Like
A little.
I mean, I backed you up. I needed some room in case you came with receipts. You know?
Nah, nigga. Type back what he said.
I need a buffer.
Documented.
I need a buffer.
Hey, I get it. Respect.
Can't get away from the
She'll
internet.
probably also clip it, so it's
Yeah,
like just that
100%.
part. But anyway, no, she was here, and then I was with her during the weekend, and that's always ease because I got a ton of projects still going.
Work.
Yeah, so the Goldie Awards happened.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And I mean, what's an award show without, or a competition without a little bit of controversy?
Man.
Now, those that advance, Lazyboy, Easy Pick, Yummy.
Well, real quick, for those that don't even know what the Goldie Awards is,
Sure.
right?
Yes.
Shout out to DJ A-Track, Fool's Gold. In this case, the guest guest judges were DJ Craze and DJ Unique,
Yes.
I believe. And they hosted for the first time, basically a digital version of the competition.
Yeah, streamed
It's
it
DJ competition and a beat
did it
battle competition.
on Twitch.
All on Twitch, Fool's Gold's Twitch. And I think for the first time also, it was kind of like no rules. Like you could do whatever you want. I believe all the sets were pre-recorded and submitted.
Yeah.
So you really had the reins to do whatever you wanted.
Yep.
And then, no.
Yeah, because excuse me, I don't mean to cut you off, because we were curious about what the criteria was, because we weren't sure.
Yeah, I even went to the website. I didn't
And they
see
didn't say
like,
anything. So
yeah, I didn't
that's
see
good
the
that there
criteria,
was
which
no
is
rules.
fine. I mean,
Yeah.
regardless, people are just going to give their opinions regardless of what the criteria is.
Yeah.
And that's what we're here to do. So let's just jump to it. Yummy advance, Lazyboy advance, and the controversy is,
Fummy?
was it Fummy? Oh, Yummy. Fummy, sorry.
Fummy, that's
Thinking
right.
of the
Yeah, we
Beavers.
kept saying
You hungry?
we kept saying yummy.
Yeah. Fummy advance, Lazyboy advance, and the controversy lies with with Dynamics, ADMC.
No,
and-
it was just between Dynamics and
Well, in our what
yeah. And then what I
sure
agree
when
with
it came
us.
down to the judges,
yeah,
picking,
yeah,
which
it was
obviously
between
is
those.
more
It was
important.
between those two. Yeah,
Came down between what's her name, Michelle,
DJ Michelle.
and Dynamics.
And Dynamics.
But I thought, and I'm trying to figure out my decision before the judges made their picks. I'm thinking ADMC has to be in the conversation.
100%.
And I think
felt
he
the same
started
way.
out and then they just filtered it to those two,
Yeah.
Dynamics and Michelle. But what do you guys think? Whatever your thoughts may be on whether Dynamics should advance or not. What do you guys think, Mike?
I think I understand. Here's the first part. I got to commend the judges because they did the judging live, and as far as like their conversation with each other
was
happened
out
on the
there.
spot.
Yep.
It wasn't on some like
You heard
whisper this, whisper that. Like
Yeah.
it was very transparent, and it seemed like it wasn't the easiest of decisions, which I can imagine in any competition it's not easy. With that being said, I can see why they made their decision. At the same time, I do feel like Dynamics' set had a little more let's call it like difficulty level, right? Like
Okay.
similar to gymnastics, like you get judged kind of also based on how high of a score you can get from that move.
Yeah,
but if
sure.
you don't execute it to its fullest capability, that
get
could also
points,
hurt
yeah.
you. So it's like a risk-taking situation. I think Michelle said, which was great, and she's doing, and by all means, like me giving my critique doesn't mean worth a shit because she's doing things that I can't do.
Yeah.
And, and she's been alive less than how long I've been DJing. So
Yeah.
I got to give
That's
her
a fact.
flowers for sure.
100%.
And so, but I did think she put together what felt like a non-error, set pretty much. Like
Mhm.
you could nitpick it, but like really she did a great job. So I think that's where it kind of comes to, and maybe Dynamics is, from his traditional battle style, there might be some spots where you lose that excitement or that momentum. I think that happens a lot. I felt like that with even like one part of Lazyboy set, felt like it was like over people's heads when it comes to what was going on.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like a trick or like a funny reference or something like that.
Mhm.
So, but how long is the set? 7 minutes?
6 minutes.
6 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I could see what happened, but if I was judging, my vote would be for Dynamics. But yeah, either way deserved, I think.
And not because he has a globalization set around the corner. And because he's a good friend.
Exactly.
Real?
First of all, I want to say shout out to all the DJs that participated in this contest.
Shout them out.
What was it? As is,
Precision.
As one.
Precision,
ADMC.
As One, ADMC, Eric J, I believe that was his name.
Yeah.
Zumi, not Yummy.
Fummy.
Excuse me. Zumi, not Yummy. Fumi.
Fummy.
Triangle.
Fumi, right?
Yeah, you can't, we're going to run down the alphabet with this guy.
Right.
we got
Michelle,
23 letters
obviously
left.
Dynamics
Look at these
and Lazy
journalists.
Boy, right? Yeah, shout out to all those guys that participated because back to what Mickey was saying, they all did stuff in their sets that no one sitting at this table could do.
Sure.
Yeah, 100%. So
One
shout out
try.
to the guys. You guys killed it.
Especially Sean.
It's
Hold up.
especially
We're going to fuck around and see Sean at the next Goldie.
right. Sean gonna be there. Yeah, I felt the same way. I personally thought ADMC deserved to be in when it came to that third contestant. Should have been more in the conversation. I think his set overall was extremely clean. Technical wise, like the difficulty of the moves that he was doing and whatnot were executed extremely well. He made it entertaining, calling all the DJs out, etc., etc. I thought that and that's just my opinion. I thought that he should have been in that conversation just a little bit more. I personally thought it should have been between Michelle and ADMC as opposed to Dynamics. And now I say that, the only reason why I say that, because I love Dynamics. Dynamics, I've seen, and we've all seen Dynamics in so many DJ battles.
We're spoiled with Dynamics.
Exactly. And that's the
that's the
thing.
other thing.
And I felt like I've seen Dynamics do better sets than the one that he's done in this one, even on the controller.
I'll give you that.
Even on the controller. That's personally how I felt. You know what I'm saying? So Dynamics is an amazing DJ. We all know that.
Yeah.
You know, there's no denying that 100%, even on the fucking controller. Like, he bodied that shit. You know what I mean? So that's just my opinion.
Does he lose any points for being on a controller?
No, he gains points from being on a controller.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that because it's a whole different thing that it's like something he really, and regardless of whether you picked it up yesterday or you've been on it for 3-4 years, it's not something that you typically use in a battle, and there's a whole different thought process behind it. I think, you know, on a turntable, the wheels are turning and you have it all timed out, and as long as you've been DJing, you've figured out how to time it and pull it back and and juggle it. But CDJ is a whole different animal.
True. And real quick, let me just go through the lineup so we have it accurate.
Yeah.
Precision, ADMC, Dynamics, Fummy, Lazyboy, Eric J, Aswan, and DJ Michelle.
Correct.
Yeah. So with all that being said, I would have went with Dynamics. I thought he was better than the other two, than ADMC and Michelle. But I will say this about ADMC. I know there was a lot of wordplay, and I think some people may be over that, but the way he did wordplay wasn't obnoxious. In fact, it was far from obnoxious. He did a really good job being in and out with it. The timing of it was great. I thought it was a bit of an elevation to the whole wordplay thing. But yeah, and I'm not taking anything away from Michelle, but I have to agree with you on what you said, Mike, where where there's a higher risk, you get more rewards, or you get more points. And I felt that's what it should have been with Dynamics. Like, obviously we're mature enough and we can judge this well enough to not include Michelle's age and not include Dynamics' age in as a DJ, because he's been doing this for a long time, and he even put a statement saying, I don't know how many times I gotta be told, you know, or I gotta get snuffed out or not make the cut, even though I felt I should. Like, understandably so to feel that way, but I didn't use that as a part of my criteria was, well, you know, this has happened to him over and over again. I think we should give it to him this. And like, that wasn't a part of my criteria. My criteria was just, you know, whatever, how dope you were, what I saw in the video. And I thought he edged her out. Pulling out the whole bass guitar, like, that was cool. Obviously talented, obviously something we all can't do, but it didn't make me say that put her over the edge. So yeah, I really thought all three of those were neck and neck, and you probably couldn't have gone wrong with picking one of those three. But again, we got to remember, it was only supposed to be 2 finalists. It wasn't supposed to be a third. Craze kind of pushed him, kind of nudged A-Track into picking a third. But ultimately, unless Michelle just really flips our wigs, it's coming down to Lazyboy, who had the most visual, and we'll show some clips, who had the most visual and creative. He just evolved again. Like,
he made it extremely entertaining.
We're talking about. At least I went into depth. I picked apart his set, and I went into depth on how he changed and elevated the game, and kind of went down a little history of how the Restyle had evolved. He did it again. Now, the question that came to my mind is, and I don't doubt it at all, but can he do this live on a stage without a video to edit and do all that? Yes, I think he absolutely can, but it creates a whole different battle, I think, when you don't have those cool little visuals and Rick and Morty to be
he won
involved.
freestyle.
Yeah, no, again, I don't doubt it. In fact, shout out to Lazyboy. I didn't tell you guys, but after we covered his 3-style set, he called me asking me for like ideas on what to.
Yeah, he DM'd us.
Yeah, which is dope. Yeah, which was dope. No, it's dope that he took, and even Dynamic said I took a page out of Lazyboy's book to.
He didn't hit us up.
He didn't hit us up.
That nigga's like, fuck y'all.
He's like, y'all ain't even on Twitch.
Guess why he's not in the finals, huh?
Hey, you would have used our routines.
Love you, Ellis.
You would have made it. No, kidding. No, but yeah, shout out to Lazyboy, because he reached out, and he just goes to show, like, he is the man, but a part of being the man is getting help from other people.
100.
Yep. Facts.
So yeah, so with all that being said, we thought it would be dope to show some of our favorite clips and highlight what we like about each winner. We'll start off with my clip on Fummy. And this, like, it's funny because you open up the Goldie Awards page, and this is the first thing I'm seeing. I'm
first thing you see.
What did I just walk into? A whole different world.
That was clean.
Stop.
Turn me up.
She said,
Look at crazy. Look at crazy.
come on, man.
Look.
He bought, like I said, when you said, like you said, as soon as you open it, if you go back to the archive of the replay of it, it starts right on that.
Right on there, yeah.
So as soon as you open, you're like, wait a minute, I ain't got time to adjust, get my bearings right. Like we just
get my
we just
in-ears
going there,
in first.
yeah. Like we didn't get no like pre-warm up or anything. Like
Hey, come back.
like right, it's like, wait,
No opening DJ.
nothing. It's like shit.
There's 6 minutes of that.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus.
Yeah,
But yeah.
he
all right.
bodied that shit. I can't even.
The
Front.
whole routine. The whole routine
whole
was
thing.
disgusting. They did say they would like a little more stage presence.
Yeah, that's the
But,
only. Yeah, that's
man,
the only
if
thing that I
that's
can say
what
about
you're
him.
gonna nitpick, I can live with that if
Yeah,
I'm him.
100.
Like easy fix.
Hey, DJ Michelle stage presence.
Yeah, she did.
Speaking of which, here you go.
DJ Michelle. Just hold on, man.
Them cuts are so clean.
Bruh.
I need her lighting set.
Bass bigger than her.
It was.
Hey,
She is so fake. What?
How did you not,
you didn't see the bass down
He
there.
goes, Chris, can you do that?
how did you not tip over, you know?
She said, "You got contact? That's cute. I got the real thing."
Oh, the bass.
What? Chris, can you do
I
that?
bet she don't play with dolls.
I can't do that.
She ain't got time for dolls.
Me either.
Man, listen.
All right.
All right.
All right. We get it.
you
We get a little
you
bit.
Got it.
We get
you,
it.
you, as much as you don't want to, you have to consider her age.
You have to.
You have to.
Yeah.
She's 8 years old, bro.
Yeah.
I have nephews at 8 years old. Sean has a son that's 8 years
He's
old.
turning 8, yeah.
He's turning 8.
He can play
What-
Fortnite
They
that
can.
good.
My nephews could barely operate an iPad. Shorty is doing techniques like advanced scratches that again most of us can't even do. Or you know what I mean? Like at this moment, if you put a setup on us, we would have to warm up to probably get to that part. But we're not coming in straight off just doing shit like that. Like that's amazing. And then for her to play the fucking bass.
Like, you know what's the wildest part about that? Like, she genuinely wants to do this. Like, this
Exactly.
is fun to her. Us at 8 years old, we want to pick up a ball and shoot or throw.
Exactly, bro.
Like, Dad, can I get the bass guitar?
Can I go
Like,
get the
no,
turntables?
I don't want to watch an iPad. I don't want to watch a movie. I want to play on my turntables. Like, this is genuine love for what you're doing.
Yo, shout out to DJ Michelle, man. She's from
sure.
Dubai.
Yeah, and her
Eight-
parents.
8 years old.
Yeah, her parents,
8
for
years
real.
old. And like you said, stage presence. She was the happiest
Oh, yeah.
DJ on the
A little
fucking
kid
thing.
being themselves wins anything.
And all the time. Like,
That's
it's
stage,
just-
you don't
it
need
was-
any more stage
like,
presence.
I didn't need, she could have just stood there dancing, moving. It's just like cuteness alone. She won.
Nah, yeah, 100%.
All right, here's DJ Lazyboy's
Yeah.
section.
Cat, she like, nah. Straight up Chili's. She's like, no. Daryl, I named 7 more restaurants. No, Craig, no. I looked my woman in the eye socket. I said, bitch.
I love how he throws in the Serato screenshot of the samples being used. Obviously, calling everybody out.
You calling no 8-year-old a bitch?
That's what us say. He didn't call Michelle a bitch.
Anything goes in the battle.
Nice with the Serato sample.
And then turn wordplay into a screen effect.
Yeah. Elevated.
vegetables in my presence, check it. I'm a leader at last, this a dawn you with. My nines are spit, niggas lose consciousness.
Well,
This shit was crazy. Yeah, that shit was crazy. Then Rick and Morty, you win.
Like TV from other dimensions has a somewhat looser
my favorite
feel to it.
cartoon.
Yeah,
so.
it's got an almost improvisational tone.
I'm gonna knock you out.
He puts himself in the screen.
I love this.
I'm gonna knock you out. Mama said knock you out. Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years.
And then you see how you put the Lazyboy, his Lazyboy in the font of the Rick and Morty, man. Like Lazyboy just made it extremely entertaining, bro.
Yeah, y'all got to watch the whole set because it's fully entertaining.
Fully entertaining.
All the way.
I don't know whose it is to lose because it's between Fummy and Lazyboy. And each represent a whole different aspect of the battle. Like obviously one being super technical, the other one being creative. So yeah, it's going to be interesting how it works out. But we, obviously you're hearing this after the finals, but we later on in this video, we will be giving our 2 cents on the finals because we're going to watch it, recap it, and share our thoughts on it at the end of this video.
Yeah.
All for you guys.
All for you guys.
So shout out to the 3 finalists. Looking forward
sure.
to you guys' final sets, man.
Big ups to DJ A-Track, Praise Unique.
Yes.
Everybody putting down the Goldie Awards, all their sponsors, willing to take a risk on something like that is
100.
really kind of refreshing to, be able to put something together, even though times are limited or public gatherings are limited.
Great content for DJs right now.
I think real quick, one thing to acknowledge is, and this is something we love to complain about, but when it's here in front of us, we don't give it its flowers. This is created from a DJ for a DJ, as opposed to, hey, it'd be cool if we do a little DJ wiki battle. Like this
wiki battle.
And you really got to, anytime you get opportunity on your platform, you really got to show love to these guys because I don't have any complaints about what's going on here because it's done the right way. It's coming from the essence. It's in its purest form, and there's no politics. It's just them being honest and giving their expert opinion and judgment. So, yeah, shout out.
And it's just refreshing to find any sort of way to keep DJing alive.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, we ain't got no clubs. We got ourselves here to talk about what's going on. So we appreciate this.
Yes.
Yeah. Speaking of keeping DJing alive, Beatsource Locker has been announced. The time you are hearing this, there hasn't been a release date. It's around the corner. And for those that don't know what the Beatsource Locker is, basically it's offline mode. So you can grab your so many songs, maybe not your whole crate or your whole library, but
50 songs right now, right? I think the first rollout would be 50 songs.
Let's say it's 50. Yeah. You can go offline with those 50 songs and still use Beatsource. So yeah, shout out to those guys. Shout out to the home team.
Yeah, be on the lookout for that release, man.
It is the future.
Beatsource is the future. So
I don't know. I feel like we have to say this every now and then on this pod, but I had someone text me and complain about the lack of hip hop songs on DJcity, and of course I had to, like I tell everybody else, it's not on DJcity. Every every record pool is suffering through certain songs not being uploaded because they're not allowed. And if they do, they run the risk of having their site shut down.
Yep.
So this is the next thing, the whole Beatsource Locker. Eventually, around the corner, you will get intros and outros to these songs. And while we were on break, they locked in a deal with Empire Records and another record label to allow intros and outros. And then next will be remixes, unofficial remixes. So the artist does get their points and credit for their songs being played on Beatsource. So shout out to the home team.
So remix my shit.
Yeah. Let's jump. Well, since we're still on music, let's jump to Metallica real quick. And people getting paid and not getting paid. So the funny part about this all is back in 2001.
Well, explain what happened with Metallica.
So
first.
Metallica was performing live on Twitch. Seemed like a great idea. And in the middle of their set, or I don't even know if it was a middle, somewhere in their set, Twitch automatically cut it off and started playing random music. And we have a video here to show you exactly what happened.
This is Metallica. Let's start, right? Okay.
That's Metallica. Sure. feel like you got what? Something happened.
Still headbanging.
You're not headbanging to this.
Mosh pit
Yo,
to the
I can't believe
Look at him getting it with that guitar.
I can't believe they did this to them live, bro. That's fucked up.
Shit top.
Maybe they're trolling.
Twitch?
Who's trolling?
No, Metallica.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
All right. So with all that being said, the irony of it all is 2001, they fought against Napster to not have their music streamed or accessible for free. And now they're kind of in that position where
this shit backfired.
They want it to be free,
stuff.
but the record labels are like,
Nah.
I'm like, hold up.
This is what you fought for.
And it just sounds like a headache to get the label that music on, to get that label on the same page with Twitch for that hour or whatever it is. So yeah, that's what we're dealing with Twitch.
Jesus,
So,
man.
even Metallica's not safe, is what we're saying.
That
Right.
mo-
And if anyone should be safe,
Do we-
they are up there too being safe.
Do we know if Metallica made a statement afterwards? Like,
It's a good question. I didn't see anything. I didn't look for anything. I just know that
we'll be on the lookout. We'll follow up on that. See what Metallica had to say about
I imagine those guys are
elevator
like,
music being played during their shit.
That was like Sesame Street meets the fucking
tropical.
Hey, yo.
Tropical Sesame Street.
It was very jingly.
I'm about to hit Twitch up and be like, yo, y'all need producers to cover over shit. Right?
That's not a bad one.
Right? Exactly, right?
At least you get a slap.
Got some shit. Can you imagine? You listening to Metallica and all you hear is like trap shit coming on.
Lit.
You got some angry Trump fans.
Oh my God. They can't win. They can't. This has been a rough 2 months. This has been a rough 2021 for Trump
21
fans.
is not it for Trump fans, boy.
Speaking of not winning, you know who's had a rough 2 weeks? It's Meek Mill.
Hold on, wait a minute.
Mr. Mills.
Hold on, wait a minute.
I thought I was finished.
I hope you're finished. Let's get back on track to what's important. Jesus. I mean, first of all,
You ain't
let's talk
welcome in
about the where he started his rough patch. The whole thing was 6ix9ine. Do you guys think that shit was staged?
I don't know.
The parking lot thing?
Yeah, to be honest with you, it could have been.
Nah.
I don't see how that benefits either one of them. But
Look, I know that before you go anywhere, especially as a rapper, you have security to go see if everything is cleared. Everything from outside the back door to the parking lot. Yeah, we're good. Send them. And you get the club involved to make sure everyone's on the same page. You know, so that makes me think, I don't know, maybe 6ix9ine and them were just hiding and waiting for him to pop out. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like I want to give him a pass. Like, all right, maybe you didn't know.
I feel like it benefits 6ix9ine though, because when you really think about it, he's not really been on our radar per se since he got out and then like put out his album and then his album flopped and then like, so he's not in that normal conversation. But by being this little nuisance and starting to be all extra,
yeah, I can see that.
making
Doing
$1
the same thing he
million
did
chain
before.
or just being himself again, like
He figured he could pick on someone or go at someone that he felt like,
yeah, that's got something.
yeah.
Going for
What's
themselves.
funny is Meek was like, what was he saying? He got me, or I didn't ask for this. Like, what did I do
Like
to deserve this? He said, what did I do to deserve
Victim, he's
this?
playing victim with the phone out.
Bro.
He's like the Karen yelling, "Oh my God, he's hitting me!"
Yeah, oh my God.
Close.
Yo, how do you run up on someone with the phone in your hand talking shit like you trying to kill him?
Man.
Behind cops.
Behind, yeah.
Man.
We live in a
Listen,
wild
if
time.
I'm a rapper or if I'm just in that
you are.
industry, I know, right? I'm
Sean's an artist.
distancing myself as far away as possible from 6ix9ine
Sure.
and any of that bullshit because I just don't want nothing to do with the dude. Like,
Is that how you avoid the smoke? Calling yourself artist instead of rapper? Is that what it is?
Good time to be a rapper,
Nah, but
man.
the
It's the
R&B
hottest
you
music
just
in the
don't.
world.
You just don't want to label it. You don't want to.
rappers.
You don't want to label yourself.
In what sense?
Hey, Chris Brown will take the fade with anybody.
Okay.
And I got Chris Brown.
Wait, you saying
Getting that
R&B
done.
artists have it tougher?
No,
than
they're
rappers?
tougher
Oh,
than
okay.
all the rappers. Trey,
Yeah, look at Tory Lanez.
Nah, that's because they feel like they got something to prove because they're an R&B nigga.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You think
Like,
because I'm melodic, I won't shoot
because
you.
I'm soft. Like remember, years ago, I don't know if you guys remember this. Like Jaheim was getting interviewed in at Power 106. I'm tripping. Hot 97, and tore the fucking studio apart because they asked him if he was like gay or some shit like that or whatever. Like, no, just say no, nigga, I'm not gay, and then keep it
Where's
moving.
Jaheim from?
Jaheim is from, I don't know.
Good question.
Virginia?
I really don't know.
I don't know, to be honest with you. Me either. But again, an R&B nigga trying to show his toughness because he's an R&B nigga and he don't want to be considered soft because you sing.
Hey, I was told one of those the barge dudes is a real cat. Like you don't want him like elder barge.
I believe all R&B niggas are real niggas.
Like talking like a real pimp, like player shit.
It's a pimp named Slickback.
You can't be an R&B artist from the 80s, 90s, shit, at any time period and not have done cocaine. So, I mean, they get down.
Yeah.
True.
Different animal.
Different times.
Exactly.
Yeah, so moving on to Daft Punk, how do we feel about this?
Oh, he's from Jersey, excuse me.
Jersey.
Oh no, we didn't finish talking about Meek Mill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I forgot about that whole thing. Yeah,
the issue was 6ix9ine. Then he got into it with Whack 100. I don't know what the fuck he got into.
I don't even know about
Whack.
that.
I don't even know. Yeah, it was literally
Is
like
in regards to Kobe?
It was like literally this was before the Kobe thing.
Okay.
Whack said something in regards that
Whack
he
100
said
is the games manager.
Correct.
I know
He
there's
said
two
something.
Whacks. There's like the
Whack.
blood.
So Whack 100 games manager said something. You're right. Said something referencing the situation with Meek and 6ix9ine.
Yeah.
And so Meek responded to that. I don't know exactly what was said between them, but that just falls in line of Meek just having a bad week, 2 weeks or whatever, following the whole Kobe shit. Like, bro.
And then he got caught up in the Kobe stuff. Like, what do you guys think about that line? Is it the timing is wrong? Is it something you would still say 10 years from now?
I think the timing was wrong. I think he should have just left it. So for people who don't know, Meek Mill dropped us. It's not.
Snippet,
It's a snippet of a song that he has with Lil Baby, and the line is something like, "I'll bring the choppers up."
I'll go out the chopper like another Kobe.
And it'll be another Kobe or whatever. Now, I don't think he had any ill intentions mentioning Kobe's name and, the chopper and whatnot. I don't think he had any ill intentions. I just think that the timing was wrong. He shouldn't have said it. He should have left it out. Like, it's just, it was insensitive. Pretty much what his wife said, what Vanessa said, it was just insensitive and you could have done better than that.
Yeah, I'll borrow a take from the JBP. It's just like, if it wasn't such a hard bar that it deserved
to be in there,
to still be left in there.
Yeah,
like, it's not like you couldn't come up with another bar that would have been better than that.
Yeah.
If it's, again, if it like was put together in a way and maybe a different time, like maybe there's a reference there, but like, no.
Right. But
like,
here's my thing.
Obviously, we take it all. Sorry, we take it all way more personal because
Kobe.
It's Kobe,
like,
yeah.
But yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I mean, rappers would reference Emmett Till and talking like a reference about beating up the pussy, and you talk about beating like a black man that got beat up.
Different times.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like so, but still,
different times.
That doesn't matter.
Nobody jumped up in arms at the time.
But I know, but that's my point. That's what I'm saying.
Like this isn't even a released record.
Yeah,
right,
and I think
exactly.
it's the amount of time that passed between the Emmett Till incident to when these rappers are saying the thing.
But
again, I think it's just about timing.
Yeah, but still, it's something that should be referenced in pertaining to this because rappers getting in trouble for their lyrics and
100%.
how that works. Like, you could talk about Rick Ross situation, like, and him saying the Molly thing and the drink and you ain't even know it. But like,
bro, ain't no fun.
It's at the end of the day.
Shit,
bro,
I love that song.
There's people still running that back.
That's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, it's part of the art, and I do agree, obviously, because it's Kobe. Like it's fucked up, but at the end of the day, it's just part of the art.
Let me ask you guys this: if this bar was said a decade from now, does it have the same response?
I think so.
From people,
I think so.
From the masses,
people sensitive now.
10 years from now, a decade
10 years from now,
10 years from now,
our cancel culture is going to be so sensitive. 10 years from now, it probably just as bad.
No, okay.
If you sneeze and don't cover your nose,
I think
shit now.
Exactly.
I think that the people's attention span is so short that people wouldn't even put two and two together. Like, I think it would go over a lot of people's heads and they wouldn't even register the fact that he was like, yeah, you can hear Kobe's name, but you don't reference the chopper line and shit like that.
10 years from now.
10 years from now,
we late 40s pushing 50.
Yeah, niggas is niggas.
Like, what are we gonna say?
Niggas' brains is not as sharp.
These kids won't care. So, little kid raps about it.
So, you know, reading the lyrics building up to this part of the Kobe line, like obviously there wasn't no ill will put towards Kobe. It wasn't like a shot or anything. It wasn't anything negative towards Kobe. So I understand, like, in his thought process why, like, he thought this would work, because I'm not dissing Kobe. I'm just saying Kobe went out like whatever. I'm gonna go out like that, and I'm gonna be loved and missed and whatever. So it's like, from a creative, artistic standpoint, I get what he was trying to do, but no, a part of rapping is timing. Mm-hmm. Like, what makes this different than J. Cole saying, Gary Coleman, life is short? You know what I mean? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, to some degree, it's the same thing, but no one was up in arms about that. Everyone was like, oh,
well, because nobody cares about Gary Coleman.
Right.
I mean,
so it comes down to a popularity contest. It comes down to, respectfully, rest in peace.
You are.
It comes down to a popularity contest.
Podcast.
and timing. So yeah, no, end of the day, the guys are right. It wasn't hard enough to just let it go and allow it to be.
He's going to change it.
No, and he apologized though. He apologized.
He said he apologized in private.
He reached out in private. We don't know. The main issue, I think, also that, and maybe we didn't emphasize this, was also that when Vanessa put out the IG story, saying that how distasteful it was and insensitive and the timing and everything else, that she had a problem with it, rightfully so. Meek tweeted something along the lines of like, fuck
doubling down.
Fuck that sensitivity shit.
Right.
I'm on my savage shit.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Yeah, just
timing.
Really bad timing.
She did say,
you don't walk into the parking lot at the right time.
I'm not familiar.
You don't got your Kobe line, so you don't got your apology.
Yeah,
but that's not this, is it? I'm not familiar with your music. That's the opening line.
She did.
I mean, you can
again. Maybe her intentions weren't to try to play him, and she was like, "I'm being honest with you. I don't listen to your music,
right?
But I'm aware of who you are. I know that you're an established artist. I think you could do better than that."
She's like, "I like Drake way better than you."
She didn't say all that, nigga.
Look, if I'm Meek Mill and somebody said I'm not familiar, I said, hold up, wait a minute. That's all I say.
Bitch, you heard I'm a boss. What the fuck out of here?
Vanessa's never been in the club. She around that
She
time.
still heard I'm a boss.
She doesn't
Kobe
know.
played I'm a boss.
Somebody played it in her club.
No, remember, Rick Ross is the same dude that said you weren't with me shooting in the gym. She ain't fucking with anybody from Dream.
You're right.
Dream Chaser or whatever they call Maybach Music. She ain't fucking with anybody.
Yeah. You know.
But
hopefully,
hopefully he cleans it up. Not
hopefully
good
Meek.
2021.
Hopefully Meek has a better week next week.
Yeah.
We'll check back in.
You won't have such a Meek week.
Don't get on Clubhouse, Meek.
Yeah.
Don't
Stay
get
off
on Clubhouse.
Just go into hiding for a little bit.
Right.
All right, so moving on. Daft Punk split.
Man.
How do you guys feel about this?
To be honest with you, it's sad, but I'm not surprised, man. They had 27, 28 year run?
When was their last album?
The
Random Access Memories, right? 2014.
Yeah, the couple of joints that they did with Pharrell.
That's the thing, is like, last time you put out was 6 years ago. You might as well have been split up.
Yeah.
You might as well. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe they do a bunch of shit. Well, I know they do production together on the low. But
there's a good theory out there, and I can't front like I came up with it, but it would be really, because I was like, damn, like, why not wait? I mean, you haven't done shit for a while, so why not just wait 3 more years and do the, and like 30 years, we're done. But then you really think about it. Why not break up and
then come back at 30 years?
No one ever breaks
for the 30-year anniversary.
I mean, no one ever quits.
And then, I mean, unless somebody, I don't know, fuck their wife. I don't know.
But I mean, what does the breakup mean? So are they going to go and do their own solo thing, or are they going to like?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What does the breakup mean? Do they plan on putting out more music, but just
like when Paul Pierce
individually?
retired? Who cared?
Yeah,
definitely not me.
Yeah.
So when the Weeknd's not going to get any more Daft Punk of songs, that's like, is that part of the breakup? Like, I can only work with one of them.
Maybe 6ix9ine reached out. They're like, you know what?
We're
not available.
where music's
we
headed.
got to this point in our career where 6ix9ine is reaching out to us, it's time to go.
You know what? We broke up.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, I mean, like again, it's sad to see him. It's sad to see such a impactful group break up, but I'm not surprised.
No, man.
I'm appreciative of all the music and what they've done for the industry, but
I saw.
Well, they changed clubbing back in 2008 at their Coachella festival. What they did with those visuals changed clubs.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
It's probably
That's
the biggest breakup since B2K, huh?
Nah. Jay and Kanye,
B2K
man,
was a big breakup.
I need them to get back together. I need Watch the Throne too.
But they never broke up.
Nah, because you want that old Kanye. You're not going to get that.
I don't care. I'll take the gospel bars. I'm with it.
We might get dark Kanye.
You gotta get the old Kanye or
we
the
might
dark
get
Kanye.
a whole new Kanye because he's divorced.
Oh man,
You can get single bars now.
Yo, I bet Kanye and Jay put some shit out now.
Kanye and Future need to get in a room and make an album.
yeah, for sure.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
I bet you everybody's coming back to fuck with Kanye now.
I wonder if Kanye falls off the gospel and he's single, you know?
Nah, I don't think so.
What are you going to do? Go find yourself a... Never mind. I'm not going to go that
No,
route.
the tax breaks are too good.
Huh?
Tax breaks are too good.
Tax breaks?
I mean, that depends on the choir. If he paid the choir,
You gotta pay the choir.
That starts with
pay
the
the fucking
choir.
choir, Kanye.
That lawsuit is going up, by the way.
Oh,
Every
yeah.
time I check in, there's more money being asked for.
Listen, pay the choir.
For the choir?
Pay the choir.
Yeah.
Right. Interest rate.
That's a whole different level of thinking. Because if Mickey owed one of his workers something, it'd be taken care of. But to just say, "Oh yeah, I owe you money," I'll get to it. Like, bro, just pay him. Like you're a billionaire. Just fucking
Yeah,
pay him.
you
What's
got
the problem? It's a whole different thought process to just not pay. The only thing I can think of is you're taking that money, you're putting it into a stock or a savings account or Bitcoin. It's accruing, it's generating interest.
Kanye's like,
That's what Birdman used to do.
Mike, said, I have my money in CCIV.
Mike,
I'll get you after the dip. I'll get you after the dip.
Mike,
when we get to the moon, I'll get you your money.
You have employees. What would be a reason for you not to pay someone for a job that they already performed?
Yo, full transparency, I've been in that seat before. It's not easy.
But you're also not sitting on millions of dollars. Like Kanye's sitting
But
on
what I'm
millions.
saying is you're still sitting on, obviously the amount of money is different. You know what I mean? He's still sitting on enough money where if he owed an employee money, he can easily take care of what that employee's owed.
Yeah. And I don't think that's any position any business owner ever wants to be in. And I've never been in a position where that's been the case. I think I have in the past been like late a day or two.
That's understandable.
But that's also frustrating because a lot of my employees are younger, so they tend to live check to check.
Yeah.
I've been there before. I think we've all been there before at some point.
Shout out to DJs.
And so
all of us been there. Some of us still owed. I'm still owed from a house party in 2007.
Shit, it's crazy because I ran into somebody. Not to cut the story, y'all.
Please.
But I ran into somebody that we all know, but I'm not going to say their name. Who was a promoter back in the day that we used to
We'll
fuck
bleep
with.
it. Go ahead.
We gonna bleep it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Owes me money.
Yeah.
And I ran into him for a spot and it was random because one of our buddies that owns runs a restaurant in West Hollywood invited us out to the spot. And we went and I saw him.
Yeah, new
and the guy was like, "Oh, blah blah blah."
I know him.
And he was just like, "You want to say what's up to him?" Nah. He was like, "What?" Like this situation, he kind of owed me money. Like it ended it bad. So it was just like, I get that. Like when someone's like, "Yo, you still owe me money from like fucking 10 years ago" or some shit like that, and you just
he had the money when he bought my.
Bro, let me give you a quick story.
He's wearing
now you
your
gotta
money.
bleep that out too.
right.
No one's gonna.
Who the fuck wears
No.
Yo, you know what? I think he had them shits on when I saw him.
That's what I'm saying.
Damn, bro.
He used your money to pay for your
and then wore them shits when he saw me. He said,
"What's up,
I
bro?
I see you, nigga.
What's poppin', bro?"
Looking over the
Fucking promoters, man. I love y'all.
God.
All part of the game.
Yo, funny ass story. With that being said, people act funny when they owe you money. I had a situation where somebody who I had a good working relationship with.
Go ahead, say the name. I'll bleep it out.
It's irrelevant because you guys wouldn't know who
Oh,
this person is. So it's not related to
I'll
us.
bleep him out like you controlling the board. I'll get it when I get home.
But No, basically, this is somebody who comes and shots with us a lot, and then you build trust. And then there was a pair of shoes he took. It was an expensive pair of shoes, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna try and move him to one of my clients. He's a stylist, so go do your thing. So like, cool. And then a couple days pass by. I'm like, any luck? No. I say, cool. I got a buyer. Just shoot him back. I'll sell him myself. He goes, no. If anything, I'll just keep him and I'll pay you myself. Cool. Like many pairs, when there's so many out there, they're worth a certain value. Once more come out, they're worth less.
Yeah.
There's a really expensive pair of shoes. So they shot down, right? They shot down in value. And so we had agreed on a certain price. We'll bleep this out. $13,000.
Okay.
Right? And then
which is a solid price for what they were at the time they were reselling for.
I sold a smaller size for $15,000.
Yeah.
Like a day before. Mm. So he has them, and then I'm hitting him up for payment, and then he's like, oh yeah, let me get it to you. I think he sent me $5,000. And I'm like, okay, cool, we got a balance of 8 G's, right? Mm-hmm. And then when another month goes by, now we're talking 3 months from receipt of the product. Mm. I hit him and I'm like, yo, just checking in on the balance. He goes, what's the balance? I'm like, well,
8K, my nigga.
8K. And then he sends me a screenshot of StockX and what it's going for now. And I said, yo, I'm like, don't do that. And I'm trying to be respectful because at the same time, I'm not trying to burn a bridge.
Yeah.
But I'm also kind of letting you know without letting you know, like, you need to we just need to put this behind us. And then what's even more messed up, because this is a part of the I guess the bigger picture for anybody out there, like he literally ruined way more business down the road because he wanted to invest into some of the things I was working on. And because he couldn't handle this smaller amount, I'm like, how am I ever going to trust you with a larger amount?
Exactly.
And then keep in mind, fast forward, he sends me an amount, and then I hear nothing for, when the balance is up to 7,500. So he only paid $500. When it gets to 7,500, I hit him up. This is now 8 months in. Okay. I say, yo, look, I'm just done waiting. Like, we need to figure this out. We need to figure it out ASAP. He goes, okay, bet. He goes, I'm sending you a payment, and then my accountant's going to reach out to you. I'm like, okay. So an accountant reached out to me, and she says, hey, this is so-and-so's accountant. You no longer need to reach him regarding his balance. What's the balance? And I'm like, all right, there's a balance. Let me know. Cool. Got a payment. Like, it was $1,500. Still owes X amount. This guy unfollows me. He
people so fucking petty.
He wouldn't reply to anything. He didn't block me. But it's just like crazy how you are in the wrong in every single way, and you feel bothered by me
asking for the money.
Asking for my money.
I hate that.
With no interest.
Hate that. That's triggering. I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate when people do that. I'm the one that looks like an asshole.
Yeah, like I owe you something, my nigga.
Right.
Like you owe me whatever X amount of money, but I'm the asshole because I'm bugging you for the money that you owe me.
I'm the inconvenience.
Many months later.
Yeah.
Shit, almost a year later.
That cash is worth less.
We got vaccines out now, and you still owe me money.
Right.
Nigga, LA is opened up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So anyway, I'm just saying people act funny.
Yeah.
Well, it weaves the wrong people out. That's
Amen.
What the hell were we talking about before?
Daft Punk. Let's put a ribbon on Daft Punk. You guys have any random access memories of Daft Punk? Like, my introduction to Daft Punk was the Heist. Super duper late to the Daft Punk train. Like, I don't know, 10 years late. But you know what's Daft Punk had those songs that you heard everywhere, but you didn't know it was Daft Punk.
Yeah.
In fact, I thought one of them was like Cher or something because it was
which hold up, first of all, which Daft Punk song did you throw Cher? Around the World?
Because at that time, what Cher was making, do you believe it? I thought that was like, there was some similarities there in my amateur ear. So I thought that was the same. Regardless, the Heist, the underground EDM party in Hollywood was my introduction. And so after I was a part of that. It was just like, oh, there's this
Nah,
whole
but what
world of
year?
Daft Punk.
What year?
Nah, you had to know about
'cause
Daft
what
Punk
year did
before
the
then.
Not
Naya
Daft Punk
song?
as Daft Punk. I knew the songs. I just didn't know who did them. I just thought it was just whatever. Sure.
Was it 2000?
The Heist?
Stronger. No, Stronger. What year did Stronger
2007?
come out? You
That was
know
like
who Daft Punk was?
2010, 9, 10.
Was
It was the
it?
same time.
I
It
feel
was
like
after
it was
it
before
was
then.
after we got
Yeah, it was
introduced to
before
that.
that.
That was before.
Google
That
it.
was before.
No.
Are we saying Stronger or The Heist?
10.
Okay, they may have overlapped.
Are we saying
Regardless,
the song
it was in
Stronger?
that I mean, I don't think we
I
need
think
an
it was
exact
around the
year,
same time.
but it was around that time.
Yeah, I mean, I was aware of who Daft Punk was when Around the World and One More Time was like the shit. But I didn't know anything outside of those two tracks by this group. You know what I'm saying?
Graduation was 2007.
And then it wasn't until I got into
was the same
DJing and started to get into it, and then learning more about some of the shit, especially like the samples that were being used from their music and shit.
Yeah,
like
then
that.
Busta had the Touch It sample.
Yeah,
before
I didn't know
Stronger.
that was when I heard the Busta Rhymes song. I didn't know that I was a Daft Punk.
Again,
sample.
I heard that was Daft Punk. I just didn't know anything about the dudes because I grew up on hip hop.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't grow up on house music or anything like that.
Man.
But you know what we really did hear before we knew it? Another story is the Jay Dilla sample. There's a song, forgot the name of it. Listeners can shout it out. But there is a popular Jay Dilla song that he sampled a Daft Punk song, and it might have been a Slum Village song actually. And Daft Punk reached out and said, "Yo, we know you're using that's our sample." And he was kind of like, "Oh shit!" But they're like, "We don't want to sue. We want to talk to you. We want to work with you." So there's
you got to respect artists like that, man. Producers like that in the industry.
Yo, Bob James, the jazz musician, he just did like some
Raise It Up. I think it's Raise It Up. Raise It Up.
Oh, Raise It Up.
Dun, dun,
He
dun.
Oh,
but
shit.
he just
I think
linked up
that's
with
the
one it's like one of those companies like Splice or whatever with Ninth Wonder too to like release all his music so that anybody can sample it. It's just subscription based.
Yeah.
You pay and you can get all
without
his
paying. Oh, so you
royalty
just
free.
you
I
pay
pay
a
the
certain
Spice
fee and
every
you get
month.
royalty free shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
But his entire catalog, and he's like one of the most sampled
Yeah.
musicians of
Yeah.
all time.
That's dope.
That's
man.
crazy.
Yeah,
That's damn. Wonder how much he got from this because
bruh,
I don't
that's
think Splice is making a killing. Like I know how much Sack Noel got. I'm not going to say it, but I know how much he got in.
bleep
I
it.
don't.
We believe in everything in this episode.
Very trigger happy with that bleep. But I can't imagine what they would give. Maybe Splice is doing a lot better than what I think they're doing. But yeah, I use Splice for all my music. Like it's organized, it's convenient, and I got to get into this Loop Master thing that Beatsport acquired.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what Daft Punk's going to do, man. If they're going to put out music individually.
I think they come back. Yeah, I'm agreeing with Mickey. They come back 30 or some festival. They bring it back.
35 years.
Coachella.
Maybe Coachella, maybe something else. I don't know. The bid's out
How
though.
old
There's
are
got to
they?
be a bid. For
I'm not
it.
leaving.
How old do you think those guys are?
They're in their
50s.
early 50s. I
Early
think.
50s.
Don't matter.
So that means when they decide that they want to come out, I mean, if they do it at 30, then they'll still be in their 50s. But if they do like 35, 40 years, these niggas is gonna be 60 years old DJing on a huge ass stage.
Yeah.
Let's go, baby.
You know another reason back to like the headline when they say publicist confirmed. Anytime publicist is in a headline, I'm not trusting anything.
right.
It's a setup.
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
Exactly.
You're setting me up to believe this. But it's a great story. We can all think back to whatever our introduction to all that and all the good times we have with that music. Of course, you can't help but think of AM. That was his favorite group, and he dressed up as them for Halloween. And it's probably another reason why they were so popular in our community because AM was a big fan.
True.
So yeah,
Well, happy breakup.
yeah.
Happy
I'll see you guys
breakup.
in a few years.
Hope to hear more stuff later.
Speaking of aging well, like fine wine, Jay-Z champagne.
Man,
Thoughts
the
on that?
man continues to be a fucking icon, bro.
Moet Hennessy.
All
go.
day.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna drink more Hennessy.
More Hennessy.
LVMH, for
Yeah.
those
Yep.
that don't know, who operate some of the biggest brands in the industry.
Yep.
Um,
Did their
all
stock
of
go
them.
up after that? How'd their stock
no,
go?
it went down.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Well, but it was during the time where everything was going down, right?
No.
You know the Trumpers, man. They got to get out. You know,
Trumpers?
They see Jay-Z. They're like, all right,
we not supporting that nigga.
Nike. Moet. We ain't with them.
out.
We out of here.
Yeah.
Still got Home Depot.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a French company. They have Hublot too, right? Yeah, they do.
They do.
Hublot's under their umbrella as well.
Oh, interesting.
But yeah, no, I mean, a huge business acquisition. I believe it was for 50% of the company.
Yep.
It obviously opens up the distribution and, you know, the ability to place product, whether it be in raps, videos, you know, clubs, those relationships, and how to scale that luxury like thing, and how they stuck to their ground, because Ace of Spades ain't cheap, right? Like,
Fuck
No way.
yeah. So
How much money is just too much money?
for what?
Just in general.
He's
Just
got to
to-
be having fun.
No such
Elon
thing.
Musk.
No such thing. It becomes a sport, or it is.
That's
a
what
sport.
like. Do you reach a certain amount of money and you just say, "Yo, I'm good."
I mean, think of all the
Check back
70-year-old
with you.
millionaires, like, and that can like that what's his name, the
Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett. Like, it's the fun.
It's that's what I'm saying. It's no longer
there's a sport for
it
them.
no longer becomes about like, oh, I need more money. It's
No,
just be
because
like,
even
I'm
he
just
said,
doing
when
this shit.
when I'm dead, I'm giving this money away. Like,
Yeah, that's at this point, it's just like, I'm good. Like what I do from here on out is solely based off of either my enjoyment and entertainment or to help others.
People, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only reason why I would.
and not compete with my.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I would imagine someone who has a shit ton of money would continue doing things that they do. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I don't.
It's got to be fun for him.
And you figure there's a large head start for anyone who's not a person of color.
Mm.
that
Oh, 100%.
We got that.
Talk
We got to
about it.
make up for. And what he's doing is, you know, which I assume is setting up the next generation
Absolutely.
to help
Yeah.
bridge the gap.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a fucking that's a great deal for him.
Yeah.
But he's still not in that
All
conversation when it comes to like global wealth.
Yeah, 100%. All minorities that are in that tax bracket, that 1%, that those billionaires, those, you know, hundreds of millionaires, please continue making monies. Please continue to set up, you know, these opportunities for
$1.
the less fortunate or whatever. You know what I'm saying? White people, sorry, Joe.
1/4 me. Only apologize for 1/4.
No, 1/4 of you, 1/4 of Joe.
He does have
You
good
know,
color though.
y'all can chill for a second. Sit your ass
You don't
down
want
for
to
a
make more
second.
money?
Yeah, nah, y'all for what? You inherited it. It's like
I inherited it.
not you per se, not you personally. I'm just saying majority.
But what
of
does it say about me when I'm trying to help the black man make more money?
If that's the case, then obviously. But how often is that the case?
Yeah.
Exactly.
This is where you ask.
I can only speak for myself.
Yeah,
I'm
I get that.
trying to like help
100%.
with what you got
No,
going on.
that's what I'm
and-
saying. I'm like, yo, you know, I mean, by all means, if that is the case, if you're setting it up to, I'm like, yo, I know that this system is set up for people of color not to succeed as well as we do, then I'm gonna I'm gonna do my best or everything I can to, you know, create opportunities for them to get that. That's great. That's what we need more of. We need that 60% of the population that inherited their money to try to help out the people that don't get that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that. If that is the case, if that's a scenario, please continue doing that. Do more of that. Inspire your peers to continue doing that. The rest of you motherfuckers, you selfish bitches, go sit down somewhere. You don't need no more money.
I'm only gonna apologize for Christopher Columbus. He was Italian. I can only apologize for that.
There's no apology for him.
I'm on behalf of this Italian.
I
apologize for
you
what
gotta
he
respect
did
that because
to America.
he kind of started this whole shit. You know what I'm saying? When you think about it, you know.
Yeah.
I'll
own up to that.
He started stealing. Where did black people learn stealing from? Christopher Columbus. Where did black people
I'll
learn
own that.
killing from?
But the guys beating up cops with American flags, that's not me. Those are my people.
That's your people.
That's not my people. That's a different European club.
The people that stormed the Capitol.
That's not my people.
The show's taking a real quick turn.
Right.
One more thing I want to say about Jay-Z was a story that popped up in regards to helping people is when he did the Annie sample.
Oh yeah.
that he cleared it for everybody to use after. And you didn't hear about that until Nipsey Hussle
was talking about
mentioned it. So that's just like, you love hearing those stories about guys like Jay-Z.
Now, he recently also, like, another business venture was to allow younger people to build their credit, paying for Spotify, Hulu, and like those smaller bills. So, you know, they can help build their credit so that they can start to get financially stable.
He's still working on that, though. That's not finalized, though, right?
No. So you're doing everything.
Got to start somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, that's dope. That's a great opportunity for.
One more thing before we wrap this up. I was with Lico getting my haircut. Shout out to him. And I asked him I said, did you, because Lico was really close to Nipsey. I asked him if he had heard the latest song. This is what it feels like prior. And he said he didn't hear it, but that verse is 8 years old.
Yeah, I don't imagine.
Yeah, because he said, remember he just got the 6 at that time and he was rapping about riding around. He said you can hear his voice is a little younger, but he said, yeah, that's an old ass verse. And so I was like, all right, that's cool. Like, whatever, bring it back. I mean, it was just good to hear his voice.
Yeah, I'm sure they sent on a ton of shit that hopefully I hope they release.
Ton, yeah. All right, to wrap this up, we got globalization mixes.
Yep.
Who did we have last week? Dex from Milwaukee.
Dex got lucky. We got to air his joint twice.
I know, man. Yeah.
Shout out to Mickey and Dainjazone holding down the mixes on that.
Shout out to Mickey Ward for holding down my mix.
All the credit, baby.
You know what it is.
His name gets on and I put the mix together.
We're fucking your name.
Get the followers up, baby.
Yeah, and shout out to Phenom, because typically Phenom fixes it on the spot with his laptop that's specifically for SiriusXM and globalization.
But he's out
and
the
he
country.
wasn't around it, so he said call them and have them fix it. I said cool. It took what the issue was they put Dex. They spelled his name right. MikiDZ Show spelled it right, and they put Mickey's name right, but Mickey wasn't a DJ. It was me. So I said, all right, I'll have them fix it. It took 15 minutes to get them to not even fix it, adjust it. So then they put Mickey space DZ space show space, and they spelled my name DJ space Danger space zone, and with the I left.
With the I missed in.
It's all supposed to be together because it's supposed to be at, like, so you know where to follow them. Right. So then Phenom went back to fix it. I think it was Phenom. And then it was spelled a different way, or someone else in the house. I was like, yo, I give up. I'm laughing at this point. Like, so Phenom's like, we'll just re-air it. And, you guys, whatever, he played again the next day. So good times with that. Shout out to Phenom.
Called in a series.
Yeah,
you're a winner.
Here to collect the check? No. Oh, and that's the thing. When I was trying to explain it to the guy how to change it, he didn't know what he was. It was like his first time working with a computer. I had to spell it took me 3 minutes to get my name spelled right.
Jesus, man. The funny thing about it is at the bottom, when they tell you the host of the show, everybody's name was spelled right. It's up there. It's right there.
Yeah, so it's all good. Shout out to SiriusXM.
D as in David, A as in Apple.
Yeah.
I would have been D as in dick, A as in asshole,
J as in Joe,
I as in idiot.
Z-O-N-E. I don't need to spell it.
And as in nigga, if you don't get this shit right, I'm gonna slap the shit out of you.
I can't do that, bro. I can't. And then so up next, we got Kid Cut Up.
Man.
I'm going to tell you guys right now, I got a little sneak peek of the mix because I have to upload all this shit.
I already know, man.
Look, man, one of the most creative mixes we've had to date. So definitely, if you get a chance, listen to that live or listen on the playback on our Mix Club.
Yeah, when I saw his name on the calendar, I was like, oh, shit. I'm excited for this one.
Who's DJing with him?
I am.
Sucks to be you.
Yeah. I didn't try to do anything special.
I don't know. Mickey may have a worse. He's got Sammy Needles is following up with an all Biggie mix.
Yeah, that's on my birthday.
Yeah, that's on your birthday.
So represent.
There you go.
But it wouldn't have made sense for me to do it because I would have probably done the same thing. And then we would have had an hour long. That's why
to make us think about rearranging.
Hour long of Biggie shit. They'd have been like, Phenom, nah.
Well, I called Phenom, made sure. I said, yo, Biggie's birthday, want to get ahead of it. Can we have a special Biggie set? He said, yeah. So shout out to Sammy Needles.
Yeah.
Saw the track list. A lot of Biggie.
Trust me, I'm imagining.
A lot of Biggie. So yeah, make sure you guys check all that out, and we are out of here.
Yes, sir.
Yep. See you guys next time.
Peace. What up, everybody? This is the MikiDZ Podcast, as you know, because this is on the back end of episode 80. And we wanted to give you a fresh take on what just happened with the Goldie Awards. Shout out to Lazyboy. Who else? Michelle, Fummy, not Yummy, Fummy. And of course, the judges, Bauer, A-Track, and Craze. Yeah, we're here to give you our thoughts. And let me just get this out of the way because we're going to continue to go back to it. It's going to take much longer. No disrespect to any of the contestants, anybody. Clearly, you guys are elite. Clearly, you guys are some of the best, no matter how old you are. So, I just want to get that out the way. All love and respect to you guys as we critique and get into this. So, yeah. So, all right. So, Lazyboy's a winner. Shout out to Lazyboy, a good friend of the pod.
Yeah, man. Congrats, Lazy.
Yeah. So what are our thoughts? Do we think that was the right choice? And why was that the right choice?
I personally think it was the right choice. The reason why I think it's just, A-Track said it best, he covered it. Fumi's set was extremely technical. You can tell that out of the 3 finalists, he was the more technical skilled DJ, or at least he did the most technical skilled set, I should say. But I felt like it wasn't anything that we haven't seen in a DJ battle, regardless of what the criteria of the battle is. We've seen a lot of, the crazy loops with the cuts and the word plays with the juggles and stuff like that. Like we've seen it. So it's kind of hard to separate yourself when you're doing that stuff. I think Lazyboy went above and beyond. He took the no rules and sky's the limit. You know what I mean? He made it extremely entertaining. I think a lot of people are going to say Fummy got robbed because Lazyboy's set was quote unquote like more gimmicky. But at the end of the day, he's the only one that really pushed the boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Oh, in my opinion, I think he made it extremely innovating as far as, because we haven't really seen much DJ battles on live stream. So now, you know what I'm saying? Like now seeing what Lazyboy brought to the table, you can kind of take that and run with it.
Yeah. All right, make it.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna echo on Rel. I mean, I think Lazyboy won it. And I totally can understand anyone who stands by Fummy and his set. Trying to think about it right now as we're talking about it. Obviously, we're fresh off of just watching the battle, but really, I think it just came down to and again, like I'm not very well versed, right? Like in regards to what the Goldie Awards is criteria or what particular part of your set will be judged or given a certain amount of points. I think yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure there isn't based on the results.
Yeah, I think that was the thing. Like they purposely said like there's no rules.
Yeah, but see, normally like even like freestyle, right? They're like, oh, we're gonna give 30% to creativity, 30% to skill, and like 10% on presentation. And I don't know if there's any of that breakdown in this, and it probably isn't. But if we were to dissect each sets, right? And no disrespect to Michelle, I know we're not bringing her up. She did an amazing job, but it really was kind of a 2-horse race here in regards to what it came for the title itself. And I think when it came to skill or difficulty of tricks to do, when it comes down to 2 turntables and a mixer, Fummy clearly, has that kind of covered, right? And separated himself from Lazyboy. When you go to creativity, the thinking out the box, like introducing something new. I mean, it was like Vince Carter doing the reverse windmill for the first time in 2001. It gave you that like, oh man, I haven't seen this before.
It was refreshing.
Right. And keeping that in mind, when's the last time have we seen somebody really give us that impact since Vince Carter's 2001 slam dunk contest, right? Like in regards to it comes, but there's not a lot there that we haven't already seen. And I think in our group chat, we talked about it, kind of covered it. Like, yeah, Fummy knocked down a fucking nice looking windmill, but we've seen windmills. And in regards to Lazyboy, he did something that just was so creative and out the box, whether it was battling himself or challenging himself. and then doing a trick together with himself. And then he brought out the homies with him, the Muppet guys. I'm pretty sure I saw the Beat Junkies in Muppet form singing along to his set. Like, it was just one of those things where it was very entertaining, but also, you know, there was context. And I also think he did a great job of just kind of like bringing the first set and then taking it up a notch in the second set. Versus Fummy, I thought his second set wasn't as good as his first one. Yeah. But again, those are just my thoughts.
Yeah, I think the judges got it right with Lazyboy. But there are two things that, and this is great for conversational purposes because I didn't hear them touch on it. They did mention Lazyboy's mistakes, but one thing I want to bring up for conversational purposes, typically when you have like an even match, and someone makes a mistake, and the other guy was on point, accurate, on point, very rare do you give it to the guy that made the mistake. Now I get the whole, and this is where obviously Lazyboy won. He had the wow factor. It was mad creative. I mentioned it earlier in the podcast about what would Lazyboy set look like. I'm not saying he's capable of putting down a winning set, but what would it look like if we didn't have streaming? And we'll never know until 2021 if you choose to. Well,
because it's irrelevant. This is the battle.
No, I know, but for conversational purposes, I'm saying all this.
Podcast purposes, it doesn't matter.
So it's rare that you see someone win that didn't made a mistake. And I understand, like A-Track said, we're gonna get some backlash from the turntablists. I understand some of the turntablists are like, yeah, but it's a beat battle. It's a turntables battle and yada yada. So I get all that, but in the midst of everything, he definitely Lazyboy definitely had the wow factor. There was one.
Sorry to cut you off real quick, but because on the same thought, can you say it's a turntablist battle? Because I would argue when Miles Medina won it, he didn't have the most intricate turntablist set of the battle, but he won because I think it had to do with his creativity and how it was well put together. Versus,
I don't remember all the contestants from that battle, but I do remember that Bruno Mars routine, and that's as it's gonna get. So,
no, yeah.
And Fumi's was more detailed than that one. And another thing with Fummy, he and I think one of the knocks on him that we mentioned earlier in the podcast was he needed more stage presence, and I agreed with that. But when I started watching this finals battle, I said, man, he doesn't have time to have stage presence. This dude is like like there's no time. Whereas, and again, I understand he can create that presence for himself. He was just all business, which was fun to watch. But Lazyboy created those moments of stage presence of stop, let me get into a character, let me do something, and then now I'm gonna give it to you. So yeah, no, I don't think the judges got it wrong. If they would have said Fummy would have won, I would have been okay with that. And like we said, it was only supposed to come down to two. And if one of those two if it would have been Fummy, it would have been fine too. But Lazyboy does it again, man.
Let me ask y'all this. If this battle was live, like in real life.
No, bro, this is a podcast. We don't do that here.
Right. If this battle was live in real life, like the previous Goldie Awards, who wins that? Fummy or Lazyboy? I
can't answer that because I don't know what I know what a Red Bull Lazyboy set looks like, and that's what 10, 15 minutes. And again, he's very capable of winning in my eyes, but you can't take that Lazyboy set and put it into a live on a stage because he's not going to have all this stuff going on. Because all those guys in the Goldie battles that were done live, they walk up and it's all business, push play, blah, 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 I'm out.
Yeah, but to your point,
a very unique situation.
But to your point about stage presence, even I think you take away the whole visual aspect of it. Lazyboy's stage presence was like light years past what Fumi's was. And I think A-Track said it best when he was like on Fumi's second set, even though Lazyboy messed up, he had some mistakes in his first set, technical wise. Fumi still, his second set would have to completely blow Lazyboy out of the water, and for him to like, you know, make it a no-brainer for them and give it to Fumi. But I don't think Fumi brought that to the table on the second set. Even technically wise, and I'm saying technically wise, not even, you know, take away like the Muppets, the Boom Bap Kids, and all that stuff that Lazyboy had brought to the table on his second set. I just think sonically, like Lazyboy's set on the second set was just as good as what Fumi brought to the table.
So let me answer your first question, which is the live question. I think that comes to the formatting, right? Because Fumi, as great as he is, when we saw him do the longer sets, it was hard for him to have like a multiple outstanding moments. He's due always for one and two sections where you're just like, I could spend a year in the lab and I would not be able to get that done. Right. I mean, crazy is like, I'm taking notes, not because of the battle, because it's going to influence his future routine or something, right? Because of his style. And so I, by all means, you know, and I mentioned in the chat, like, I'm gonna give him his flowers. This 2-minute round thing, like, only benefits Fumi because there's less gaps to fill. Like, you gotta just, that's his game. So if the live format were like shorter time frames, that's Fumi's thing all day, right? But when you're talking about longevity, like a full thing, you got to fill in the gaps and you got to find ways to transition from this to that. Like, that's where things get a little complicated, because I can only imagine how much time goes into the Drake flip, the Stop flip, the Busta Rhymes flip. You know, like, I would assume each section takes some time to think of those things. And then, I mean, I forgot what else I was going to say, but
going into the second round, I thought it was Fumi's to lose. I thought all the time Lazyboy spent painting this picture for you, Fumi had a routine to cover, a few routines to cover all that time of whatever he did on the screen and all that. And that's why I was like, okay, well, so far Fumi like took that time and did better with it. But yeah, going into the second round, and it's it sucks because like, how dope does Zach LaVine have to be when he does a dunk? Like, I understand you've seen that dunk, but none of you around the world can do that dunk. But that's not what we're grading it on. We're grading on wow factor. Just because you're the only one that can do it doesn't mean shit, unfortunately. So unfortunately, you have to give us something different that's gonna wow. Yeah. And because Fumi didn't satisfy that wow factor, it was his to lose. He lost it, and Lazyboy cleaned it up and did just good enough to get over that. I'm telling you, like, if we have a final score, it's like 100-99.
Yeah, well, I agree. I don't think Lazyboy like blew him out of the water. Look, you see, it took the judges a minute to figure out who was going to be the winner. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I mean, even Michelle. Like, again, we haven't mentioned Michelle. Michelle did an amazing job. I just think her advantage and her disadvantage was her age. You know what I'm saying? You look at it. She's 8 years old, and like I said, we can probably 80% of the DJ community can't do what she do right now, regardless of how old we are. Right. But at the same time, she's only 8. She hasn't lived long enough to like really give you, you know what I'm saying, with the programming and you know, music. So her music selection was amazing though, even for an 8-year-old. But I'm saying, as far as like, she's only been on this planet for 8 years, so there's only so much there's only so much life experience you can have as an 8-year-old to really showcase that in a set like that. So
yeah, and I think the last thing I was getting, well, the one thought that I forgot to mention is, Fumi, just as good as it sounds silly, but I think we all felt like his first set was better than his second set. And I think that plays a role, because you're not bringing that same upward trend in the momentum. It's kind of like it's high, and then it's just kind of like still stayed there, maybe even a little lower, versus like Lazyboy, and I could be wrong on this, but I don't personally think Lazyboy fucked up, because if he fucked up, he has the opportunity to refilm, right? This isn't live. So I think what happens is it might have been sloppier, but I don't think he made an error. At the same time, he was able to put up a set and then take it up a notch. And then I think that's what happened, is when you see that uptrend and you're hyped off of what you saw last, I think you're gonna be in favor of the judges based on just the momentum.
That's a really good point that I don't think that we even like realize, or a lot of people didn't realize, is the fact that these were pre-recorded videos. So you could watch this shit 100 times and then like, you know what, I'm gonna go back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So for him to be like, even
right, and you could clip it. Like, that's what's crazy. You could get the whole set right, and all you gotta do is make that one part.
What if Fummy did this? What if Fummy swapped his sets? What if he put his second first and the other two? Does that make a difference?
I'm gonna tell you one thing. Fummy sat there, press record, and let it ride. Like, there was no clipping involved. This is what it is.
Yeah, bro, I think that's a good point. If Fummy switches out or swaps his sets, I think we're having a different conversation. The judges,
I think so too.
Have to consider it. But yeah, there's so much that goes into these battles that you can't just show up and be dope. Like, there's timing of things and putting, what if Fummy didn't give you can argue that his set last week, you can take 2 minutes from that and say that might be just as good, if not a little better than what he did today. What if he didn't give you all of those gems last week and just gave you a dope set that just puts him in the top 2 or 3, and then he turns it up this week, he gives you that break your neck routine, like, what if that happens? He might win.
I think Fummy wins if you put the third set, right, the most recent set we just watched, you put that third set last week, he gets in, splits up the first round, last week's set, splits those into the 2 rounds of the finals, he wins.
I think he takes both. Shows any interest in what he's doing, then he wins, because Acal was not impressed by anything he did in that.
And at least one wardrobe change, right, Ral?
What, bro?
No, I had no problem with that. Fuck that. I don't need that.
I get it.
It back in the closet.
It doesn't mean like whatever. You everyone's probably looking at what he's doing on the turntables and everything like that. But again, you already seen what Lazyboy did in the semifinals. You already seen what he did. You already know what he's about to bring to the table. And you got to understand what you're doing is
that's not his
probably
game.
Not going to beat that.
You already play Lazyboy's game.
If I see what Lazyboy did last week, I'm going on Fiverr looking for a CGI guy.
I think, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you see that, and you see what the response was. Everybody's going crazy because of what Lazyboy did. You know he's going to bring it up a level with visuals and shit like that. Now, I'm not saying that Fummy should have went out and did all these crazy visuals and went crazy, but man, he could at least change his t-shirt.
Look, all Fummy had to do was rearrange his sets. All you have to do, we be talking a different. We can say the green screen and the.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. I think he takes the 2 sets that he did today for the finals and he puts them in the semifinals. He still advances, and he takes what he did in the semifinals and moves it to the finals, because that Drake routine and that Busta Rhymes routine was insane. And I think, like you said, we're having a whole different conversation right now.
I mean, this is how some of the guys in the artists, loses verses, right? It just comes down to where you position. And of course, there's no loser, but it comes down to selection and where you kind of place things. So,
how did you feel when Fummy started off his second round with "Yeah" by Usher and Lil Jon?
Took me back to my senior year in high school.
Yeah, I think it was too cliche.
Yeah, I wasn't. Not that I was looking for anything, but I thought there could have been a better track to flip. But at the same time, in my head, I'm contradicting myself, because I say in my head, those Drake and Busta songs were relatable. I mean, what's the most relatable song? Usher's, yeah. So, but no, I would have wanted to hear something else flip. And again, because that beginning wasn't so crazy, that could have been your first round routine or last week's routine to get into the finals.
True. But they weren't. So Lazyboy wins. Congratulations. We are super
congratulations.
happy for him.
Well deserved, man. Well deserved.
Let's see if we can grab him to do a talk on it before anybody else does. And
oh yeah.
We'll see what's up.
We're gonna have to Zoom that. MikiDZ's show, we don't do the Zoom thing except for
Hey, for emergency purposes only. But we're here. We broke the glass.
In case of emergency.
Exactly.
We had to sneak our take in for this episode, so it wasn't late. So
well worth it.
Appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure to keep up with us. And I made sure I was going to talk about this. By the time this airs this coming Friday, keep an eye out for the new DJcity Lifestyle Collection first drop.
Yeah.
It's coming, I believe, this Friday, March 5th. So when you catch this episode, it's March 1st. Make sure to check it out. It's what we talked about an episode ago, and I'm super excited for the launch. I think everybody's going to like this. Shout out to the model, DJ Rel, of course.
Rel's ready to get out of here.
Me too. My time is up. We got to get out of here. You hear the dogs. It's time to go.
Crazy. Go sit down now.